Yeah.
All right. So I guess we should get started with the news. So first one on the agenda is Doctor Strange 2 is the scariest Marvel movie, says Elizabeth Olsen. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a ridiculous comment
It's not hard to
because,
beat. None of them are scary.
well, it's Kevin Feige came out and said it's going to be the scariest one. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
a horror. It's going to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
So, and none of them are horror movies before. So it's kind of like,
Of course it's going to be the
it's like,
scary.
of
Yeah.
course it's going to be. It's a bit
Yeah.
obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what's been the closest to horror in the MCU so far? I mean, maybe like Infinity War because of the
Thanos.
scope of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's a scary guy.
Yeah,
Almost.
exactly. Yeah, like that's the closest to come to scary. Like it's not really.
It's a weird
kind of
comment to make, but I think it's just all to be building that excitement for the show because for the movie, sorry, because I think it's kind of like we've been looking for that, and it's something different to Marvel. So I think what she's saying in it being the scariest Marvel movie ever is like, take Marvel out. It's trying to build that hype of like, we have a scary movie, you know?
Yeah,
That's what she's.
I mean, I don't know because it's. I don't know what it means to be scary. Like, do you know, like
yeah.
What is scary in the MCU? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
I think maybe WandaVision, the TV show, WandaVision, the show, like it's kind of was kind of going in that path of being kind of scary to do with witchcraft and things like that.
Yeah.
If that's deemed scary, to me personally, supernatural things aren't scary. I'm more scared of things can actually happen to me. But
like a serial
killer.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, exactly. That would scare the shit out of me. I don't think it would scare the shit out of everybody. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just like I don't know. It's just like a nothing comment. Like it's an obvious comment considering there's no horror movies in.
Yeah, like
MCU.
if it wasn't the scariest Marvel movie ever, then what the hell were you doing? Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and it's funny because they the previous director of Doctor Strange was Scott Derrickson, and he directed some like horror movies before. He's a horror director. He directed, I think he directed Sinister. That movie Sinister, if you've ever seen it, which I think has actually been rated like one of the scariest movies of all time. When people are watching it in terms of heart rate, I think they did some scientific study about that and said it was actually pretty scary.
That's
I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, and he's and the new director is Sam Raimi, and their versions of horror are completely different. Like Sam Raimi comes from like Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, and they're kind of like horror comedies.
Yeah.
Whereas like Scott Derrickson's probably a bit more horror.
Yeah. But I was going to say a horror comedy would be something I would see Marvel doing first. I wouldn't see them going all out horror because it's Marvel. They're probably going to want to go down that path of horror comedy for sure.
Well, yeah, it's kind of their brand, isn't it? Like whole comedy thing mixed with another genre.
Yeah, because they're not gonna cut out so much a big chunk of their audience because people don't want to go see a horror film. They're going to make sure it's a horror comedy so people who aren't into horror films can go and be like, okay, I'm not going to be completely scared, you know? So I think that's definitely the path they'll go down. I can never really see them in the foreseeable future doing something that's just like completely trying to shock you because
we could be wrong.
Maybe.
Like we could.
Maybe.
We could be completely wrong. Like they could easily make this a really scary movie.
But that wouldn't be good for
business. Know.
And Marvel,
maybe it would be good for business. It's time they need to change. This whole phase of MCU is about change. I think Kevin Feige came out earlier this week when he did this he's got these like interviews released through Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. I don't know if you watched them, but I think he might have said that this one's about change and introducing new characters and new aspects. And if you think about it, all the movies they're coming out with are completely different from the ones that we've seen before. Yeah. Whereas in like the phase 1, 2, and 3 of Marvel, we're like setting up the whole thing with Thanos and whatever. This is like completely different. Like you've got the TV show, like even the format of the show of the programming from Marvel is like, you got features, and you got movies and TV shows, sorry. Yeah. And so that's different. And then like even the characters are different. You got different stories we're telling. We got Asian characters coming in, we got gay characters coming in.
Yeah.
We got characters returning. It's all about different. It's all about change.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So it could well be like one. It could be a scary movie. We don't know. We haven't seen it. We might have to shut the fuck up once we see the movie.
I know. I might be shooting myself in the foot here, but
Yeah,
I don't see it. I don't see them going full out horror, trying to shock you out of your seat. For sure, they're going to sprinkle humor all the way through that movie. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be. It's definitely up there with one of my most anticipated movies.
Definitely,
in the Marvel universe, anyway.
Yeah, and I think they're also, by them changing it up, because there'll be something so new and fresh for Marvel, it has a chance to become their best movie ever.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Or it could tank.
Exactly.
You mean
exactly.
risks like, you never know where they're going to go. It's a risk. You don't know. They're not based in any like faith in one side. You know what I mean? It's either going to be one this way or the other.
But Marvel's good at weighing up that risk, I think.
Well, Marvel haven't failed yet, so
exactly. So I can't see them really flopping with it, and I really think this movie has a chance to be their best film to date because it's going to be so new and so fresh. People are just going to be like, "Oh, this was great to watch," something so different. But
I will say, if they're going to say it's a scary movie, they need to deliver. It can't be scary-ish.
To a 10-year-old.
It's got to be scary.
Yeah,
it's got to be scary.
Got to be, yeah. No matter what.
Which is good. I like this swing. I like the swing.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they get a home run.
It's a good risk, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I
definitely stick it.
Yeah, stick it, definitely.